Good afternoon, Patriots. It is Praying Medic, and this is my QAnon update for Wednesday, April 18th. I posted this thread on Twitter yesterday, and I didn't have time to do the video last night because I was busy writing an article on essentially what looks like Russia and the United States will be coming to peace talks pretty soon, which will likely involve Syria and Iran. I was tracking down some news articles last night, put it all together, and then I was up till almost midnight last night writing this article, which I posted this morning on my website. If you're interested in checking out that article, I don't do this very often, but if you go to the blog link on prayingmedic.com, these are all my blog articles. Also, my Q videos are here as well. This is the article, Vladimir Putin seeks peace to avoid further losses. Essentially, there's inside information coming from the Kremlin saying that Putin is really struggling with the economic losses that Trump has put on him. And it looks like we're going to be getting a peace agreement coming pretty soon because of that. So, like I said, if you're interested in that, you can do that. But going back to our Q update. Q had been kind of busy the morning of the 17th, dropping stuff, and we'll cover that. So it could be actually going to be a short video. My theme for the series is We Are Being Set Up. All right. So at 3:48 Eastern Standard Time, the morning of the 17th, Q posted this, RR, boom, Q. So we know Q has been telling us in the past that Rod Rosenstein has been having problems, and those problems are coming to a head. Rosenstein and the DOJ missed another deadline to hand over memos and information that Congress has been seeking on James Comey and some other people. So that's one of the problems Rosenstein has, but he's got other ones, I think. Q then posted this at 3:53 in the morning. Boom, 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 Q. We will get to what those booms mean in just a minute. And then, well, I'll tell you what, let's just do it right now. All right. I believe that the booms are telling us that we should be expecting some news on the items that Q gave us at the beginning of April. So what did Q tell us about? This was on April 2nd. We have the IG report coming out. We have Sessions being publicly attacked, Rosenstein problems, seals being broken, arrests. Why was Huber made public? Awan brothers, the tarmac thing with Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton, Iran, North Korea, Uranium One, FBI, Department of Justice, Mueller, election integrity, immigration. Okay, these are the issues that Q told us about in April. Some of them we've already seen. The most likely immediate booms, the big news stories that we have coming up, would be the Inspector General report coming out. That looks like it's going to be rolled out in several different parts over the next probably 6 weeks. The tarmac meeting tape, President has been tweeting about that, and we've been told to keep interest high. Uranium One, we need to keep interest high on that. Things going on with FBI and DOJ. The Mueller investigation, which is winding down, is coming to a close, I think, pretty soon. And then election integrity. The unlikely boom that I think is the arrests. I mean, everyone wants to see the arrests, but I think before we're going to see anyone of the big names arrested, I think Mueller's investigation has to come to an end. If Sessions goes out and arrests a lot of people that were, worked under Obama, it's going to be perceived as retaliation. So I think we have to see Mueller's report finished, Trump cleared, before we're going to see arrests. And like I said, I think Mueller's investigation is going to be wrapping up here pretty quick. Someone from Mueller's team went out the other day, just a couple days ago, and said that the mainstream media has got a lot of these stories wrong about what's happening with the Mueller investigation. In order for Mueller to want to put out that information, that signals to me that his investigation is probably wrapping up. He was going to interview Trump, and that is not going to happen now. He's going to finish his investigation without interviewing the president. So these are the things I think we're going to see in the booms. Q then had a little conversation with some of the Anons. This is, again, before 4 o'clock in the morning. One of the Anons said, "Hey, good morning. Do it, Q. Big day for me. I got interviews, first time in over a year. Here's hoping." Q said, "Good luck and God bless, Q." Q then responded to another Anon about 20 minutes later. This is 4:15. "Good morning, Q." And Q says, "Rays of light." That is obviously speaking of Chris Wray, the FBI director. For what it's worth, Chris Wray had just came back from a visit to the Middle East. Last week he was in Israel, the West Bank, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar, working with international partners, the Gulf Coalition, and getting some things, making sure everybody's on the same page. And then one of the Anons posted this. It's kind of a side-by-side graphic. This is a Q post on top. This is a President Trump tweet on the bottom. And the Anon is making the connection that Q said, was talking about the Parkland thing as a distraction. Actors are acting. It's fake. There's no power. Guns are safe. Everyone playing the game is going to be arrested all. And then the president tweeted this. So we're going to see more of this in the future, just to let you know. Q has said it's important to do side-by-side synchronized posts of the president's tweets and Q's posts, and we need to look at timestamps and look at how they're being connected. So I will probably be focusing a little bit more on that in future videos, because I think that, well, Q said we've missed past proofs because we haven't been doing that. At 4:18 and 17 seconds on 4/17/18, Q posted this: BDT and DEF CON direct Q. Okay, so I am not certain about the date and the timestamps. I just saw that and I thought that's really interesting that it uses the same 3 numbers on the timestamp and the date. But it is relevant. So what is BDT and DEF CON talking about? Direct? All right, when Q says direct, Q is telling us he is giving us a direct warning, a heads up about something that is about to happen. That's what that means. I'm giving you a direct warning. Something is coming down the pike. You need to know about it. Keep your eyes open. And it has to do with something with BDT and DEF CON. So an Anon said, hey, is that referring to the Bangladeshi New York City terror attack, and DEF CON, the Hawaii missile alert? And that is what that is referring to. Another Anon said, hey, thanks. That's where I remember the BDT from. Okay, so the Bangladeshi bomber was this guy who, he basically detonated a pipe bomb inside the New York Port Authority in the tunnel. Tried to take out a bunch of people, ended up burning himself, and he survived the incident. So Q had told us about that in advance. That's the thing. Let me zoom in on this next tweet here. But this is, again, this is a side-by-side timeline. These are Q's posts over here on the right. And Q posted blunt and direct time, BDT. Adam Schiff is a leaker, national security evil, TikTok. Okay. And then he said, false flags, POTUS 100% insulated, expect fireworks, Justice Q. Okay, so that was on December 10th of 17 at 22:32. So Q was warning us that there was something was coming. And then we see this, the New York tunnel pipe bomb goes off, and that is what Q, so Q is warning us in advance this was coming. Okay. Going at the DEF CON one. On January 7th, Q posted this DEFCON 1, and then in brackets SIG, 1 SIG, and then there was this. I'm going to see if I can zoom this in just a little bit more. Yeah, I can. So Q posted this DEFCON 1, 4, 10, 20, Fire and Fury, 9 states of class ready to go live, commands live, codes, command action, non-nuclear in brackets, 1 brackets OWL 1. All right, by the way, 4, 10, 20, if you take the letters Donald J. Trump and assign a number to each letter in alphabetical order, his initials are 4, 10, 20. Okay, so Q here was talking about DEFCON 1, which is it's essentially the threat warning level for impending disaster, international disaster, usually from a threat of nuclear war. So Q refers to Donald J. Trump, his Fire and Fury speech about North Korea and the missiles. So Q is telling us this is about possible retaliation by North Korea, a missile launch. All right. Again, this is on the 7th. And Q says it's non-nuclear. He then clarified a little bit later, the next day, DEFCON does not refer to defense condition with regards to previous post. Thought that was clear. Now it's crystal clear. And then on the 13th, we have the Hawaiian Falls missile alert. So Q was telling us in advance that these things were coming, and he was trying to prepare us for them. And Q was saying, in the same way that I warned you about this missile alert and about this Bangladeshi terrorist doing the pipe bomb thing, I'm warning you that something else is about to happen. That is what Q is telling us. And it's that simple. It's just, I'm telling you there's something that's going to come. I can't tell you what it is because of national security. Just, keep your eyes on the news. So what was the event? Okay. At 13:16, so this is 1:16 in the afternoon, Q reposted one of his drops from April 12th about welcoming Alan Dershowitz to his team. Welcome, Alan, welcome aboard, plane 17Q. Okay, so people are wondering, what the heck is that all about? I was on the 8chan yesterday, and the Anons were scratching their heads like, I don't get it. What is he talking about? Well, again, this goes back to the flight log of Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Trump had just welcomed Alan Dershowitz to his team as a legal advisor. Okay, that's what this was about, this original post on the 12th. Dershowitz had been defending the president publicly, and Trump was welcoming Alan on as an official capacity as an attorney. Okay, and the plane 17. Okay, Trump was just saying, we know about the plane, Epstein's plane. We know that it was on the 17th. Here's the number 17 in Dershowitz. And I've tried to explain this to people, and for some reason they just don't want to hear it. People think Dershowitz is a pedophile, but the flight that Dershowitz took on Jeffrey Epstein's plane was from Bedford, Massachusetts to Montreal International. Those are the airport codes here. It was a round trip from Bedford to Montreal and back from Montreal back to Bedford. People have accused Dersh of being a pedophile. They have been wrong. There is no evidence. They have had to withdraw their statements. There was a lot of long, drawn-out legal battles over that. Dersh has never been proven to be a pedophile. And look, Trump is not dumb enough that he would have a pedophile on his team. So that's my take on that. People can believe it or not believe it. Some people are just going to be convinced that Dershowitz is a pedophile, but I do not believe that is true. I don't think Trump is dumb enough to put someone on his team that's a pedophile. All right, so that is the context for this post, which has confused a lot of people. All Trump was saying is, hey, we know about the plane log. We know all about that. Welcome on board. Now, Q posts this. We are being set up. When he says we, he's talking about himself and the Q team. Threat. Past booms. Texas bomber. New booms. Plane crash plus the plane 17 drop. These people are sick. Attempt to prevent the drops. Prevent the awakening. Conspiracy. Coincidence. Response is coming. Q. All right. So let me try to unpack this. Q is saying that those who are opposing him, probably CIA, rogue agents, and the deep state, all right, they tied his past boom statements to the Texas bomber. And this was back in March 20th. Q posted, the FBI opened a case on Q today regarding the boom statements and now the Texas bombings. Coordinated to end comms here, predictable, they're scared, 4 a.m. narrative, they will fail, we know the details. And then Wednesday, the real bomber was actually found. He detonated a bomb in his car and was killed. So Q is saying that they're trying to tie Q to the engine failure of the Southwest Airlines flight from yesterday, because Q referenced a plane and a 17, and it was the 17th yesterday. So the deep state is saying that they're trying to finger Q as the one who is behind the, basically probably saying that Q and his team sabotaged the engine on the Southwest flight, and they're behind the Texas bomber. They're trying to shut down the Q board. They're trying to get law enforcement to shut down Q. All right, or to get public perception that Q is a terrorist. So this is the flight detail. It's a graphic that shows departure, arrival time, the flight path, and the sudden loss of altitude of Southwest 1380. There's a link here if you want to come. Did I put the link? Nope, I didn't do the link. Sorry about that. But you can search this for Google. Let me zoom in a little bit. It is kind of interesting. Here, the flight takes off of LaGuardia, it comes out, and then they lose the engine, and they lose that window blows out. And you can see here in the flight path, there's a sudden loss of altitude. This is their altitude throughout the flight, and then there's a sudden loss. The pilot regains altitude, and then they come down and they land at Philly. All right, and there's all kinds of information. The reason I put this graphic up here is just to let people know. And maybe I got a little bit too... I do not look into the hidden meaning of numbers and all that stuff like a lot of people do. The flight took off at 10:43, and it landed in Philly at 11:23. And Q had posted the warning at 4:18 a.m. in the morning. So 6 hours before the flight took off, Q posted that there was something going on that we needed to be aware of. And then Q said, we got the connection. They're going to take out a plane, and they're going to try to blame it on us. All right. That's the only thing that this graphic was for, was to show people that Q had posted this 6 hours before the plane even took off. Q said a response would be forthcoming to those who are responsible for this. And when someone sent an envelope with white powder to Donald Trump Jr.'s office, a mysterious envelope with white powder showed up at Obama's offices. Q said, did Hussein receive a letter in the mail with white powder? What a coincidence. Message received. Response forthcoming. So there's going to be a response. I don't know what that response is exactly. Q posted this. Strike package 111 Victor Bravo Q. I don't know exactly what that means. There are a lot of theories out there. Somebody did a YouTube video saying that there is a strike package 111 VB mentioned weeks ago. I don't have time to look at all the videos that are out there on YouTube. So if you're sending me links to videos, I'm sorry, I don't have time to look at everything. I will say this. I looked this up. If you rearrange the words strike package Q, you get package Q strike. Package Q strike was the largest airstrike in the Persian Gulf War, and it was the largest strike ever in military history of F-16s. They used F-17s. They used the F-111 in this. All right, so we have the 111 right here. I think it's just a general reference to the deep state that a strike is coming. All right. Q said, response forthcoming. This is just, I think, just a general, a warning, a threat to the deep state to let them know they're not going to be getting away with this much longer. Something is coming in on them, and they're going to be sorry. for what they do. Let's see. Now, that is the end of, Q has not posted since then. I just checked. Nothing's really going on. I did want to say this about the booms. Let me go back here. So people have been asking, what are the booms? Is it arrests? What's going on? Well, this morning, Ron DeSantis sent a letter along with, I think, 10 other members of Congress to Jeff Sessions, Chris Wray, and U.S. Attorney John Huber, asking them to investigate Obama-era officials for potential violations of federal statutes. This involves Loretta Lynch, McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Hillary Clinton, James Comey, and a lot of others. This is a criminal referral to the FBI and DOJ. Congress is asking them to bring criminal charges against them. And this is being widely reported now this morning. I think we have found one of our booms. Q obviously saw this coming and wanted us to know that justice is coming. A couple of the things I wanted to bring you up to date on real quick. Let me get this zoomed in. So it was revealed that Mike Pompeo did a sneaky little visit to North Korea to talk with Kim Jong-un over the Easter weekend. Evidently, he went there and had direct contact with Kim Jong-un to kind of set up some preliminary ground rules for their peace negotiations, which will be coming up. And that talk, of course, we'll talk about denuclearizing the peninsula and bringing peace to the peninsula. So I am happy about that. And they need to get Pompeo confirmed as Secretary of State, because technically he's still just a CIA director. All right, what else is going on? The president has announced that he is going to hold a campaign rally in Michigan, and this is going to be on, I think, April 28th, during the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So while all of his enemies in the fake news are hanging out in D.C., drinking wine and bashing the president, he'll be holding a campaign rally in Michigan. So if you live in the area, you might want to get tickets for that. NSA Director Admiral Rogers received a 2018 award for excellence in the field of public policy. Tweeted that out. This is my article about Putin and the fact that he's seeking peace because he doesn't want to get hammered anymore economically. There were indictments unsealed today that involve 30 people being rounded up in drug trafficking. And let's see what else is going on. And then this is the Sarah Carter report about Congress and the criminal referrals of Loretta Lynch and the Obama people. I think, this is kind of interesting. The letter that was sent to Congress was sent to Jeff Sessions, Chris Wray, and John Huber, and Q, of course, said, trust Sessions, trust Wray, trust Kansas, Pompeo, trust Horowitz, IG reports are coming, trust Huber, he's involved in all of this. That is going to do it for this update. Thank you all for your financial support, those of you who are financially supporting me. We do appreciate it. Thank you for sharing this on social media. Thank you for leaving comments. I don't always get to read the comments, but I'm glad to know that this work has helped you. This is Praying Medic signing off. I will catch you on the next broadcast.